Hi guys, and welcome to Piano and Keyboard Artist, where we discuss the artists related to pianos, keyboards, and synthesizers. And I was thinking about it the other day, guys, and I thought this segment of the channel is called Piano and Keyboard Artist, and I thought we haven't really spoken, if anything, about any piano artists, with the exception of maybe Joe Jackson. You know, we've been really sort of synthesizer focused, so I thought it's time to talk about another piano artist, and who better than the iconic Sir Elton John. Elton John needs no introduction. Everyone knows who Elton John is. Your mum knows him, your auntie knows him, your uncle, your cousin, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your cousins, sisters, brothers, removed second sister. Everyone knows Elton John. Elton John needs no introduction. He is a household name, but at the same time, he is an iconic rock star. Elton John is synonymous with some of the greatest hits in rock history, but also piano ballads. The man is just a legend, and anyone who learns piano will soon, sort of delve into Elton John's songs. And that is the purpose of this video. Is I just want to sort of break down some of Elton John's songs and just sort of like explain to you how I understand them. So this will just be a scratch the surface video, because obviously Elton John's been around a long time and there is so much we can talk about. Now, remember that Elton John is fundamentally a composer and obviously a pianist, but he's not a lyricist. Elton has been writing with Bernie Taupin since the beginning of time. And how that relationship goes is Bernie who's a poet, will write the words and he will send the words to Elton. Now, I believe that 9 times out of 10, or possibly all the time, they're never in the same room together. Elton receives the lyrics in various different ways. I remember hearing how he got the lyrics faxed to him while he was staying at a hotel, I believe. And he would, after breakfast, sit down at the piano and just read the lyrics and make music reading the lyrics. And this is the genius of Elton John. He's demonstrated this on interviews where he was reading through a book and he can just open any random page and put the book down and make up music based on the words. So that's definitely his strength amongst performance and flamboyance and all the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that goes with being a star. Elton John has been there, seen it, done it, and he's still going strong. I remember reading once an article where Elton John said something along the lines of, he likes to approach songs as hymns, or if he's stuck with a song, he will go down the hymn kind of route. And it's interesting that he said that. I can't remember where I heard it or if I read it, but it does make a lot of sense, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you now, because if you take traditional hymns, if you grew up in a religious household, like in a Christian background, and you went to church, you would notice the typical congregation style hymn or church song. And for instance, the congregation will stand and then the organist or the pianist would play an intro. And now I'm not going to play a hymn now, I'm just going to sort of make one up. So the congregation stands up and it's something like... And then everyone starts singing. Da, 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 da. And they always sing, everyone sings out of tune. You know how it goes. But anyway, that is the typical way a hymn starts. Now, what's very interesting is if we apply this to Elton John's music, you will see the hymn format. Let's have a look at Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Did you see that? That's what I want you to take notice of. So it goes, and then he comes in. I can lie, no more of your darkness. And that that's gospel. I'm going to show you just now how Elton incorporates pop, jazz, blues, and gospel into his music. And this is what makes it so interesting, because if you analyze the structures of Elton John's songs, they're not complicated. If you look at the root chords, a lot of them are played in a C, and in a very, at their root and essence, they're very simple. But it's the way Elton sort of, I always say he can make a C chord sound like it's something other than a C chord. He can take simplicity and make it sound beautifully harmonically complex just by using a variety of inversions, intervals, and by adding elements of jazz and blues, but not by overdoing it. He doesn't sort of do overplay the sort of, it's almost like the song is his chicken, and then the ingredients like the licks and all the little thrills he adds are like the spices. But he doesn't overdo it. He knows just how much to throw in. Because I find with a lot of kind of jazz music, it can get so become so self-indulgent with so many thrill licks and blah, 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 that it just loses its melody. And Elton knows exactly how to pepper his songs without sort of losing the essence. And I find that with a lot of jazz music, because there's so many notes going, it just has no melody. And forgive me if that's sacrilege, but I do find a lot of jazz music is just very discordant and I can't follow it. But Elton John understands that. He has the songs that are written in a classical way that people can understand, but he throws in just enough rock and roll, blues and jazz just to make it interesting and make it something exceptional. If we come back to that Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, I'm just going to play it simply. This is just normal sort of melody, ballad style. And then here comes the hymn. Da, 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 da. And then I can lie. No more of your darkness. Now watch this. Here comes the gospel part. All my pictures seem to fade to black and white. See, it's just the right combination of, sort of like blues and jazz and a bit of gospel, just to sort of, if you were to leave those elements out and just play them in straight keys, it would sound a bit boring, like, I can light no more of your darkness. But he plays the seventh. I can light no more of your darkness. So just in the intro of that song, he's incorporated elements of, sort of classical music, jazz, blues, and gospel. And this is what makes his music so brilliant. And even if you're a casual listener, or if you're sort of someone who's really musically schooled, you will find beauty and wonder in Elton John's music. To further illustrate that the sort of like hymn intro, let's jump to his song, The Way You Look Tonight. There was a time I was everything and nothing all at once. When you found me, I was drifting like a cloud. I'm getting carried away here. All I was trying to point out was there was a time, and just as in I can lie, it was just like a bum, 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 bum. Another example would be in Yellow Brick Road. When are you gonna come down? Bum, 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 bum. Let's take another look at that hymn approach to a song, and let's try Candle in the Wind. Did you see it? It's the... Here it is. that. And then he comes in with the goodbye, Norma Jean. You know I never knew you at all. You had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawl. They're just effortless, beautiful songs. And I'll demonstrate this. It's easy. It's E. Goodbye, Norma Jean. And then just to an A. Though I never knew you at all, you had the grace to hold yourself. Simple and beautiful and very understated. And Elton John does play his songs differently every time. I mean, let's take another song like Daniel, a classical example of a song that's in an easy C key, but he makes it sound really complex. Daniel's traveling tonight on a plane. I can see the red tail lights. And he'll play, every time Elton John plays, he will play it differently. Remember, this is not like synthesized electronic music where you're playing over a backing track. It's, you know, with this, the beauty of this kind of music, and of course we don't compare it, is it is a different art form. But what is nice is with this kind of music, you can put the backing tracks away and you can just have a live band. You can kind of feed off each other, which means every performance is uniquely different. Every night the tempos are slightly different. And there is, I don't want to say a lot more magic in the performance, but you do have a lot of freedom. And that's definitely a video we can look at, is the difference between playing to a backing track and playing in a live band, I suppose. But Elton is a master of melody. If we take one of his classic songs, it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. We all know that. He's a master of melody, and all the elements are present in Elton's songs. As I say, starting off with a sort of hymn approach gives it that kind of familiarity to it. But then he always has something iconic as far as a melodic tune. So what I'm saying is, it's not the typical. There are so many practical examples we can give, but if we look at a song like Guess Why They Call It the Blues, there's a great example of a song that's in a sort of like a straightforward C key, but I'm going to show you how he sort of peppers it with lots of little jazzy and bluesy bits. So the introduction is. Now, bear in mind, this is not a note-for-note tutorial. I'm just taking the essence of the song and playing it. And something I want to teach you guys, if you're an aspiring pianist, who wants to play in piano bars and stuff, that is important, is that you take the essence of a song, but you don't necessarily mimic it note for note. So, with that out the way, let's do it again. Notice the crush note. There we go. So he slides like that. And again. Don't wish it away. Don't look at it like it's forever. Between you and me, I can honestly say that things can only get better. So he does all these little honky-tonk little licks while I'm away. Dust all the demons inside, and it won't be long before you and me run to the place in our hearts where we're high. And I guess that's why they call it the blues. Time on my hands. And get carried away with that. But when we get to the solo, and of course the solo is always different. And he will just do all kinds of licks. Watch him on that, guess why they call it the blues. He's incredible, and I will not even try and attempt what he does, but I'm just trying to show you in my humble way how I understand his music. Something that comes to mind now as well is this, I don't know what this is called, but I just call it the 3-note melody with a stiff hand. And that which he uses in Daniel, which is the... It's this. He kind of locks in the hand in a position. He does that as well in Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. It's the... Try and experiment with that, guys. Put your thumb on the E, the middle finger on the G, and this one on the top E, and then just... I know Elton does that a lot, where he uses that interval and gives it that nice... So guys, let me know what you think of Elton John. Are you a fan of Elton John, or are you kind of just on the fence about him? He is very fascinating, and you know, when I'm coaching people, I always use Elton John as an example, because there is a lot you can learn from him on how to do it properly. And of course, a lot of that cannot be covered in this video. As I said, I've just kind of fired through the songs very quickly, just to sort of see how you guys take to Elton John in this channel, and to see if we should speak about him in more episodes. Guys, if it's your first time, click like, subscribe, and introduce yourself, and welcome to the channel. I'm so glad to always bring new people onto the channel. We also have a Vaughn George Facebook group, links to all that below, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Have a fantastic day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Take care.